and alpha waves. These waves are indicative of a person who's in deep, deep rest. You would get these waves to go up if you fall into stage 3 sleep. Like hours after you go to sleep, you get into really deep sleep, you would get this. But meditation has an added advantage. The beta waves also go sky high. Beta waves are indicative of a brain that's really concentrated. When you fall asleep, of course, you're not concentrated. So the good thing about meditation is that you have two benefits in one. You're getting deep rest and you're sharpening your brain at the same time. Improves your mental concentration, as well as getting deep, deep rest. Reducing stress is terribly important because your immune system can resist pathogens like bacteria and viruses quite well and prevent you from getting disease. But when you're under stress, when the brain receives these stress stimulus, it sends signals down to the immune system and turn them down. So the immune system is turned down. 免疫系统压低了，如果你的这个压力太高，免疫系统不行了，就生病了。When this immune system is turned down, and then you get disease. And this is most famously shown by our colleagues at UCLA. They measure an immune marker, antibodies to shingle virus. Okay, so UCLA 的同事研究做太极拳对免疫系统有什么 So you see a randomized control trial, two groups of people who have never done Tai Chi have antibody level to to shingles. Shingles 是这个带状包的抗体 Okay, so that's here. And the control, which is the group that didn't do Tai Chi, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, pretty much no change, okay? And then they get vaccinated, and then antibody level went up to here. That's great, okay? We should all do that. But look at the Tai Chi group. Tai Chi group, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, wow. Before they get vaccinated, they're already higher than the people who didn't do Tai Chi, who got vaccinated. And then, of course, everybody should get vaccinated. So they went and got vaccinated. They went up to here. How high is this? You see this dashed line? That's the level of antibodies in 30-year-olds. So 返老还童, okay? Back to the future. If you do Tai Chi and get vaccinated, you're better than the 30-year-olds in terms of antibodies to the shingle virus. Of course, it's not just the shingle virus. This is just what they measured. But the whole immune system is so much better. Next, I just mentioned this. This is a very new paper that came out 2016. They studied people who do Tai Chi and Ba Duan Ji, 8-second reciprocate and Tai Chi. They found that the people who practice these exercises have better connection between the hippocampus, Haima. Hippocampus is for long-term memory, 长期的记忆. The forebrain, here, okay, is for short-term memory, 短期记忆. The better connections. That's very, very important because a lot of people say, "Oh, in my college days, I used to do this, and they can remember everything." Well, but I can't find my keys, So when people do Tai Chi and Ba Duan Jin, they have better connection between the long-term memory, short-term memory. Then they could function a lot better at work, at everyday life, and even in retirement, enjoy themselves. Okay, so this is the latest on the the brain function, improve connection between long-term memory and short-term memory. The study at UCLA was extended. They showed that people who do Tai Chi could sleep better. Okay, so all these markers that shows problems sleeping is improved. People could sleep better. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, regulation of breathing. How's that important? Maybe I just do my Tai Chi, breathe normally. No, just do it. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Why is that? First of all, at Princeton, they study cats by doing something you cannot do to people. They stick electrodes, 电极, into the brain stem where the brain cells for serotonin are concentrated. Serotonin 是血清素，要连这个猫的那个脑干的血清素。And when the cat is breathing normally, okay, the serotonin activity is like da 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 da. When a cat is breathing more deeply, and more deeply, when you put them in a chamber that has increasing CO2, they will start breathing more deeply. 深呼吸的时候 the serotonin went to da 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 da. Okay, tremendous increase. So when you breathe deeply, your serotonin goes up. When serotonin goes up, you feel good. Your mood improves. Okay, so 你的情绪比较好了，因为你的血清素增加了。In our laboratory, we put people under stress. 我们把人受压力 we make them play video games that are very stressful, 电子游戏 or we make them watch horror movies, 哇，很紧张 okay, so you see heart rate 心率 before watching the movie, during the movie, whoa, 心跳 boom 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 boom. And then we just continue to watch, but breathe slowly. And then the heart rate came down immediately. Okay. Here, blood pressure, 血压, before, during the movie, went up, and then do deep breathing, came down. Okay. So you can see the effect immediately when you breathe. 深呼吸，把压力马上减低。心跳。血压都下来。Oh, how come? 2017 paper tells you why. As it turned out, by using brain functional imaging techniques, they found that here's the brain, and within the brain there's a brain stem. Within the brain stem, there's a breathing pacemaker region of the brain. 呼吸控制中心. They found that when you are stressed and you go nervous, like, okay, that is controlled by this part of the breathing center. If you're under stress, you go, oh my God, oh, why not? Okay, that's a different part of the brain. But when you breathe slow and deep, you'll mind your 深呼吸, that's controlled by this part of the brain. What's so special about this part of the brain? This part of the brain is directly linked by nerves to another part of the brain that has to do with suppressing stress. Oh, now we know. If you breathe slow and deep, you use a part of the brain that's connected to a mechanism for reducing stress. 所以你紧张的时候，深呼吸、慢呼吸，你就会减低压力，因为这个呼吸中心跟这个减低压力的中心是有神经连贯的。 Tai Chi, Qigong are well known to improve blood circulation. So in our laboratory, we use laser Doppler to measure blood flow. Okay. 我们用极光多普勒研究血流快慢。So you see, this is like at rest. 100% is here. If you don't do anything but just do deep breathing, you can improve blood circulation by this much. If you just simply, like, do a physical exercise, like Tai Chi, you can improve blood flow by this much. But if you do it the Qigong way, integrated, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Wow! And all the way up here. By comparison, if you deliberately do it wrong, breathe out, breathe in. Okay? Yeah, it's still pretty good, but not as good. I like to say it's like pizza, When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still pretty good. So when you hear, I'll teach you how to get good pizza, not bad pizza, okay? Because if you go to a place where you don't get the scientific, teaching, you may end up here instead of here. Okay, finally, regulation of the body, okay? First, muscle. It's important to train your muscles. I'm looking at the clock, but very quickly, if you do exercises like lifting weights or like running a treadmill, okay, you affect the body in different ways that could, improve your cardiovascular and your muscle function and all of this. It's not surprising. What is surprising is this. People say, of course, if you run several miles a day, you burn a lot of calories and you control your weight that way, okay, and maybe eat a few more cups of ice cream. But doing Tai Chi, how many calories can you burn? When you do Qigong, how many calories can you burn? Not much. But how come in all sorts of clinical trials, they show that people do Qigong, Tai Chi, they are better, they have better weight control. In Sweden, they show that when a person does a physical exercise like riding a bicycle, okay, many different hormones will go up. But the one that immediately jumped up is called interleukin 6, IL-6. Strenuous exercise will stimulate interleukin 6. How come? Because when the muscle is contracting, it will secrete interleukin 6. And interleukin 6 can go to different parts of the body and break down fat. Okay, how do you prove that? Well, here's a mouse that's normal. Here's a mouse where the gene for making interleukin 6 had been taken out. So this mouse can exercise all day long, but cannot secrete interleukin 6. Look at this guy. I hope you're this, you're not this. Okay. And when they inject interleukin 6 back to this mouse, it looks like this. So now we know, okay, it's not just the calories burned, but when you do drawing the bow left and right as though you are shooting condor. 八段锦，左右开弓四射雕。 I'm flexing my muscles. I didn't burn a lot of calories. I'm secreting interleukin-6, break down fat, okay? But, okay, you said, well, if I do Tai Chi and Qigong, it's just like 10 miles a day, then I'll be really good. See, the problem is interleukin-6 could break down fat, but at high level, there's a downside. You inhibit your immune system, you get sick. So that's what, people who don't exercise a week and they play tennis for 3 hours, Saturday afternoon they come back and get a cold. So over-exercising secretes too much interleukin-6 that will inhibit your immune system. That's a problem. So yeah, Tai Chi, Qigong will get you to secrete enough. Okay, enough is enough. Next, what type of muscles are used? There's 108 different Tai Chi movements, for instance. So in our laboratory, we put electrodes on different muscle groups, on the chest and the shoulders, on the legs, okay? And we looked at 肌电图, electromyography. And we showed that something, maybe obvious. When you walk, walk, sanbu, okay? You don't really exercise your leg muscles that much, okay? We looked at the muscles, top, back, side of the upper leg, lower leg, okay? And, just normal walking. But look at Tai Chi. Tai Chi, you don't just walk straight, okay? If I want to go there, I go, go 2 steps forward. Okay? You see, 2 or 3 of these muscles are used a lot more than walking. What are these muscles? These are the muscles on the side and the front. When you walk, you don't use these muscles. Why is that an important thing? Because I walk up, I trip, I didn't fall. Because these are my stabilizers, these are my brakes. I have good stabilizers and brakes, okay? So I'm not going to fall. And 老人 just 散步, they fall, they break their knees with the hips, okay? So there are a number of clinical trials that show that people who do Tai Chi fall a lot fewer times than people who don't. Falling is the #1 killer, accidental killer of the elderly. So by using EMG, we studied different types of Tai Chi movements, for instance. And we show that, if the movement is particularly outstanding, for muscle, like the deltoid, here, or chest, here, or back, side, okay, we put it red. Excellent. If it's good, orange. It was still pretty good. Okay, fair, we put yellow. And we study 20-some different Tai Chi movements. Oh, there's a red, orange, they're all very good, okay? Like the first one, 闪动背, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, okay? Well, of course, the whole body is used. And the other side as well. Second one is 铁三锤, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Yeah, well, muscles use fast and slow, okay? So, and so forth and so forth. So Tai Chi is not just good for these leg muscles, but for the whole body. And I showed you just now, when we use the Tai Chi palm, okay, instead of just empty-handed, I take this heavy rod, okay, so instead of just like, waving my arms, this is like 2 pounds, okay, of heavy wood. I do this. I do this. I improve blood flow. This is empty-handed, and with the palm, a lot more. Oh, then you say, well, Dr. Lin, why don't you use like 5 pounds in a row? Okay? No, it's not the more the better. After 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, it doesn't, actually it just gets you more tired in terms of improving blood flow. It's not the more the better. Of course, the more the better in terms of using more and more muscle power. But in terms of improving circulation, we show in the laboratory that's not necessarily the more the better. Next, when we discuss Tai Chi, I discuss from the slow comes the fast. Okay, from the fast comes the slow. Oh, why do the fast? After all, Yang Shi Tai Chi, Yang style has no fast movements. Mr. Yang Wu Chan already took away all of that. Because why?